What is going on, guys? And I know I am extremely late to making these videos because I actually visited these parks a few months ago and the vlogs have been on the channel for a while, but college has just been really busy, and I am now getting around to making ranking videos and just talking about the parks and videos other than the vlogs, and starting out with Holiday World. Now, I am going to recap. I did get to go to Six Flags Great America, and then Holiday World for my first time as well, and then Kings Island with my friend Zach, and then I then went to Kings Dominion, Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and then Universal Islands of Adventure for my second time to do Velocicoaster, and it has just been an absolutely amazing summer. So yeah, fitting that I come back to school and I'm really busy. But starting with Holiday World, because there's 4 coasters, and I liked honestly all 4 of them, but I do of course always have some controversial opinions, and you will see that as we go forward. Me and Zach really enjoyed the park. Honestly, our first ride on Voyage is I'm gonna remember forever, because me and Zach, we met at McDonald's a long time ago, like because we were both YouTubers, and when he was coming to visit Ohio State because he was from Pennsylvania, I had to drive out there and meet him, and I was actually too young to drive by myself, so our parents were there, and just through talking and being close for so long, we eventually got older, and we're so lucky to have this opportunity to go on this trip. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the 4 coasters as I rank them, and yeah, let's get into the top 4 coasters at Holiday World. So coming in at the number 4 spot, and none of these rides are bad like I was saying before, but Raven just really did not impress me very much at all, especially because it has that banner on it that talks about how it was voted the #1 wooden coaster, and you think, oh, okay, well, this must be the precursor to Voyage, so you know this ride should be fairly decent. I will say it was extremely smooth. We went after they had retracked that turnaround, so apparently there used to be a pothole or something there, but I just found the ride kind of forceless and I don't know, just a little bit boring. You just went along through the track. There weren't very many special elements. There was one drop that I wanted to try in the back. However, me and Zach when we hit the brake, and we were like, wow, that won an award. Zach actually did the ride for me before me as I went to the car, and I came back and he said, do you want my opinion or do you want to make your own? I said, don't tell me. And when we got to the brake run, we both had the exact same opinion. Now, maybe it's because it was the 4th coaster we rode. We had already done the other 3, but I think this is definitely not the, worst sounds terrible, but definitely not the best ride at Holiday World. Definitely number 4, and I don't know, I guess it was kind of cool going through the woods, but just when you look at the layout, and even going back and rewatching the POV, I'm like, how did that win the award? Not talking down on anything, it was definitely fun, but just a little bit forceless for me. Alright, now if you've still stuck around, because hopefully I haven't offended anybody, I know there are some people who really like Raven, but coming in, my next controversial opinion, the number 3 spot is Thunderbird, and do not take anything away from this coaster. This is a fantastic wing coaster, and just a fantastic addition overall. When me and Zach got in the brake run after our first ride, we were like, what an addition. We both agreed on that. It fits the park so well. It's such a nice area. The launch is fun. It's just, when I compare it to the 2 rides that are above it, I think it's definitely the 3rd spot. This park has a great top 3. Thunderbird is really an excellent coaster. We got the chance to do it all 4 times because we actually waited to do it later in the day, because we walked up at first and it had a really long line. And then when we went back, there was no line, so we were able to do front left, front right, back left, and back right, which I feel if you can do on a wing coaster, you know, you really get a good feel for it. And it was fun. The launch was really fun. When people say that it's snappy, I really thought that they would mean like it has a nice kick to it at the start, but it's a more of a gradual build up, and not a bad launch at all. Really fun. Launching into that first inversion honestly might be my favorite part. I will say though that I was really expecting to fly through this loop, because Wild Eagle flies through its, and it looks so fast off ride, but it's really just doesn't feel as fast when you're on the ride. And then you've got these 2 S-bends, which I guess are kind of fun, and then you go into, fortunately, this is where I lose footage of the ride, but you have the 0G roll, which is decent, and then there's this little S-bend, which if you're thinking you're going to get airtime, having done all 4 of those rides, we did it on a single ride. Every time we came up to it, I at least thought, it's like, maybe we'll get a little bit of airtime, and then you don't. And then I have to say, this last inversion may be my favorite inversion of all time. It's like Banshee's inline twist, but just because you're on such a wide train, it feels like you are traveling and circling forever, and the hang time on it is absolutely phenomenal. So like I said, not a bad ride at all. I just prefer the 2 rides that I have above it. Alright, so if you're still here after Thunderbird being number 3 and hearing my thoughts on Raven, and again, I believe in opinions. We all like different things in coasters. If we all like the same thing, then honestly it wouldn't be very exciting. You'd go to a ride and you would know exactly what to expect. So it's fun doing different things, liking different things. But number 2 is going to be Legend, and actually I didn't think this until I did it again in the back, which my friend Zach did not get that experience. But after our first ride, we waited an hour and 30 minutes, and honestly, we didn't end up liking it that much, and maybe it's because because we waited that long, and then we found out that the ride was actually only running one train for the entire day. We weren't sure why it was doing that because Raven had two, and as well as Voyage and Thunderbird. So this ride had one train, honestly, had the longest line in the park. It was just so slow moving. We decided to wait for the front our first ride, and it was good. It definitely had some insane laterals. I remember people talking about that helix compared to the Beast, and I thought it was definitely like really intense. It's not the same sort of thing. The Beast helix just feels like it goes on forever and ever, and you're twisting forever. Whereas Legends, it's like, okay, you'll go down into a speed part and then you'll go up and it'll just stop banking. This ride really is the king of laterals. I don't know if I've ever been on a ride, even Ghost Rider, like I think this might have more laterals on. You can't really tell, or you can a little bit from the POVs, but when you're on it, it's just like there's sections of track where they just turn the banking off. Like you'll be going through a turn and it'll just stop banking, and you'll absolutely slam to the side of your seat, and it's honestly an insane feeling. Definitely has some great laterals on this. I decided to go around and do it in the back because from watching off-ride, it looks like that first drop in the back is going to be absolutely insane. It was alright, nothing like, definitely not as good as I thought it looked off-ride, but just the laterals are insane. There is also a water special as it dives through the water park, and both times I rode it, I ended up getting wet as we dove under one of the slides. But just that second half of the ride, the first half is more like an out and back, not much airtime though, and then there's a turnaround where if you're in the back you do get whipped a little bit. I'm sorry, again, I don't have footage of this. This was my first time to the park, and then there's just laterals after laterals for that latter half of the ride, and it was absolutely a fantastic ride. You even go into the brake run with some great speed, but that helix was just so fun because you go from turning into a non-bake turn and just slam to the left. But this ride was really fun, and I definitely think it's the second best ride here. I know that might be controversial, some people might agree, but I also know some people think Raven is better than Legend, so who knows. And of course, you knew before watching the video, I'm not that controversial. The #1 ride at Holiday World, honestly, my #1 coaster currently is Voyage. Just absolutely insane. Even if I wouldn't have been here with Zach, which of course that made it that much better. We walked to Voyage and that was our first ride together, and you just see my reaction after coming off. I didn't know if it was #1 there, but after doing it a couple more times, it is just absolutely insane. Gravity Group above GCI all the way for me. What an insane ride, especially when you look at the fact that it was built in 2006. Now, before I praise it more, I will say we did it in the front and then ran around and did it in the back. And I'm not sure if you guys have ever been on a wooden coaster that jostles you around to the point where I don't know if it pinches a nerve or it does something in your back that you can feel it, and basically the rest of the ride is extremely uncomfortable. And so unfortunately that did happen to me on Voyage. I actually enjoyed my back row ride on Legend more than Voyage just because that happened, but it was just a really unfortunate thing because I was more trying to sit in a comfortable position to make that pain as least as possible instead of trying to enjoy the ride in the back. So just an unfortunate, I guess I wasn't prepared for one of the jolts, and that really got me in my back, so I ended up not enjoying the rest of the ride. But in the front, because I did do it 4 times in the front, this ride is by far my #1 ride. You get some insane floater on those first 2 hills, and then that spaghetti bowl is just insane. I actually smacked a tree when I was riding it by myself while Zach was at the water park, and just it's insane. Laterals, turns, those 90-degree turns, I was like, okay, well, they banked it 90 degrees, so you might not get laterals, but they are just so tight that you do feel the forces through them. And then coming out of that mid-course, you do not, I still don't understand. Or apparently it climbs up a mountain, so that's how when you drop off the mid-course that is literally on ground level, that's how you gain so much speed coming back. And just the back end of the ride just feels like it never ends. Every time we would turn, I would feel like, oh, we're about to do that station flyby moment, and we would just not. We would have more parts of the ride to do before that. Just the second half of the ride lasts so long. It's absolutely insane. And coming off of Beast, I'm not going to say Voyage feels longer, but Beast is, I have that in a different category. Voyage is definitely much better than that. And that latter half is so fast, so many airtime moments, so many lateral moments, and yeah, just honestly a perfect roller coaster, except for the roughness in the back. But in the front, it was honestly, it might not even be that bad in the back. It just caught me in a bad spot in my back, so it unfortunately prevented me from enjoying it in the back row. So there you have it. That is my top 4 from Holiday World. Honestly, I enjoyed our day here so much. Definitely on par with the other parks that I visited this summer. Just such an amazing park. Free drinks, you can never complain about that. And just the amount of rides here, or not the amount, but all the rides here were fantastic. Unfortunately, it did close at 6 p.m. So we definitely would have liked to do more rides, but I ended up doing Voyage 5 times, Legend twice, Thunderbird 4 times and Raven once. So, absolute fantastic day with some fantastic rides. And I will say, when I was walking in the parking lot on the way out, I could feel it in my legs that I had been on 3 wooden roller coasters all day. And yeah, just a great park overall. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I am planning on doing some other videos like these, especially because I did miss some credits when I was doing this, so I want to make like a top 5 missed credits video. But I read each and every comment I get, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Can you catch me?